I never think to myself, I'd like to fucking punch you in the face. I never think I physically want to hurt someone. I physically, when I watch her, I think I'd like, if I could get away with it, I'd punch her in the face right now. Hey, this is Matt Cox, and we're going to be talking about an infamous con woman.
Notice how he doesn't introduce me anymore on this fucking podcast.
I'm going to right now.
Oh, okay.
First of all, it's just on me.
You used to say, hey, it's Matt Cox, and I'm here with Juan Sanchez, and we're going to...
Hey, it's Matt Cox, and Juan Sanchez and myself, are going to be talking about Anna Sorkina.
However, you Americans don't understand foreign culture, and your Russian viewers will appreciate this. In Russia, your Russian viewer, because she's a woman, she will be Sorkina.
Sorkina?
You put an A at the end of the last name of a female. Although her father was Sorkin, she will be Sorkina.
Well, that's silly.
I know. I'm just little culture. I'm trying to educate you, Matt.
I mean, listen,
little by little.
Sorkina, Anna Sorkina, which is an infamous con woman that she what did she do? She bilked the elite out of millions, but the truth is she really didn't get millions. And it was a few $100,000.
Well, I think it reached maybe to $1 million.
Maybe a million.
Maybe a little more. I mean,
I
know she took.
I'll give her $1 million.
That lady Nora or whatever, she took like $500,000 from her just on clothes and shopping.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
then,
like it's fucking.
You can probably add it to the crime, and I'm sure like.
Yeah, but that's credit card fraud. Like I don't think she got like that. Like it's like she got the other chick. Remember American Express?
Yeah.
She got American Express. She got that chick for like $65,000, $68,000, $70,000. So you go, okay, $70,000. Well, American Express. So that's I'm saying what she actually got a check for. She got $100,000 from one bank.
Yeah.
And then she got some money from other people.
Investors.
Investors did a lot of credit card fraud.
Yeah, that she did commit a lot of credit.
Right.
Identity theft. I mean, if you really see it as, she signed somebody else's slip.
Yeah, identity theft, definitely. Well, here's the thing. It's so there's Inventing Anna, which is
the Netflix.
It's a Netflix series right now. So I think it's 8 parts.
9
parts.
Yeah.
I just finished it. And you know how she's really obnoxious in that? She's just super obnoxious and just irritating to even listen to.
Yeah.
And so I watched a 60-minute, by the way, on Vice TV, Vice did a 1-hour documentary on her. And they hired me to act as an expert con artist.
Is that when they didn't pay you?
No.
Oh. Didn't you have a deal with Vice that they hired?
What are you bringing? No.
Okay,
I got paid for that.
Okay.
They didn't pay me, but then I got paid.
Okay.
Once I started making some threats.
Making some waves.
So I told them I knew where they lived. I will take your fucking house. No. But I did get paid. No, this was when they had hired me in Tampa.
Okay.
And for a couple hours, they interviewed me. So I already did an interview where I was an expert on her.
Before she was Netflix material.
Before that, yeah, this was like a year ago.
Okay.
This was over a year ago. So here's the thing: I watched I think the best interview about her was done by 60 Minutes. She's so over the top, obnoxious.
I haven't seen it play to see.
Bro, you got to watch this. We got to watch this.
Is she in detention when they do the interview, or she's?
No, she's not in detention.
Okay.
No, this was before she got. I think this was before. This may be before she got arrested.
Okay.
Because yeah, it's anyway. The series, I watched the series and it was good. It was good, but
Anna Sorkina. She convinced New York's rich and famous she was a German heiress about to inherit a $60 million fortune, and then used her lies to live the high life on their money. Anna copped 3 years in jail for her scamming, but remains unrepentant about what she did.
She's a
She says
scumbag.
there's nothing wrong with making it by faking it.
I mean, it's fraud.
Yeah.
In New York City,
and then there is scamming.
Yeah.
arguably the loudmouth capital of the world, oodles of audacity and shameless self-confidence are prerequisites for success. But Anna Sorkina who, as you're about to see, has more front than Bloomingdale's, has taken that belief to a whole different level.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
I don't care what you think of me. I don't need your approval. I don't need to impress you.
There's no nice way to say it, but the petite 30-year-old Anna is a big con, whose dubious claim to fame has been her ability to dupe the rich and famous of Manhattan
Is that her or
and
double?
not give a damn.
I have no patience for
Yeah.
people's stupidity.
Do you feel bad about some of the people that got burnt along the way?
Can you name me the names of the people? And I'll tell you if I feel bad about them.
It's not easy interviewing a skilled
I
charlatan.
have had that
You've been
conversation.
described as a con woman. Very good con artist.
I don't see myself as such.
You don't think you've conned anybody?
No.
Anna's refusal
you
to acknowledge
stole people's credit
wrongdoing
cards and
is
used them for
disconcerting.
hundreds
But
of
her
thousands of
willingness to
dollars.
talk about herself does give an insight into the mind of the fraudster.
Yeah, she's a super
She could even, unknowingly, help us make sense of our own cons. Melissa Caddick and Belle Gibson.
All right, let's...
I'm not this person who is like trying to trick her way into stuff. Like I just asked them and they either said yes or no.
It was
Hold on.
not only planned.
So I'm going to stop it, by the way. So
Well,
all right. So what do you think about that?
I mean,
Keep in mind, if you haven't watched the series or any of the documentaries on her, you have to watch it. Like, this is a woman who's saying, I asked you for the money and you gave it to me. Yes, but you misled me. Like, you didn't say, hey, I need $100,000 so that I can piss it away on hotel rooms, fancy dinners, parties, and clothes. You said, hi, I'm a filthy rich heiress from Germany. I'm from Germany. I'm Russian. But I'm from Germany. I'm about to get $65 million
on a trust.
I'm opening this foundation. I need you to invest in it. I'm guaranteeing the money. And my real name isn't... So you're covering up your real name because you're not using your real name. So
Which is not a crime, by the way. You can use any name you want to.
I can, but when you're doing that to hide something, it's furtherance of your crime. So I'm not saying that in and of itself is illegal. What I'm saying is when you're doing it to set up a scam, you're using it in furtherance of a crime.
I mean, this as a convicted felon of a crime.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I ran a red light and stole $39 million, but not at the same time.
That happens.
Man, I gotta see it both sides. And my crime and your crime are a little bit different on the sense that I can relate to her. When because you didn't take money directly from people.
Right.
You just took their properties.
Yes.
I took money directly from people. So when you're in that kind of setting, there is a persona that you have to create. I mean, I didn't lie about my name, but you lie about the return on investment, and you lie about what you are capable of doing, and you lie about your record, and you lie about a lot of things. So I see her angle on the sense that, listen, I got up and I put up a show, and if you bought it and you gave me the money, hey, have a nice day.
That's fraud.
That
by
is
the way. That's
fraud.
false earnings potential. and
Correct.
It's illegal.
No. Listen, what she did is illegal.
I love the way I say this like I'm offended.
But
by what she did.
but I understand also, and you and I have had this conversation. We had it in the last podcast, I believe, where she doesn't have any remorse.
No.
And I have regrets.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have remorse. And that's something that I was talking to my therapist. And he's like, oh, maybe you'll get it one day. Maybe you won't get it one day. But I think there is in the mind of the con artist, and now you and I are similar in there too. There is a level of like, hey, listen, bro, you didn't do your job protecting yourself. It's on you.
Yeah, you didn't do your due diligence.
Correct. Listen, I'm walking on I-95.
Due diligence.
Due diligence.
God, I wonder why I stumbled.
I'm walking on the turnpike and I got run over. I cannot say like, oh my God, I can't believe they run over that guy. No, listen, bro, you shouldn't be walking on the turnpike.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You shouldn't be giving your money to people without you knowing who the hell they are. There are people out there, I'm told, that can sell anything to anyone.
Yeah, I've heard.
And, I've heard. So now, that doesn't take away the fact that she's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, I'm more disturbed by her interview and the way she presents herself.
But that's a personality trait that has nothing to do with her being a con woman.
Right. But here's the thing, like even here, if you watch the video, if you watch the Inventing Anna.
I mean, I watched the show.
Yeah. Like initially, I didn't see that chick playing her, but after the first episode, I was like, oh, she's perfect. She really is annoying as fuck all. And this chick is annoying. This whole interview, it's so like she won't admit what she did. People will forgive you there's two ways to get forgiven. Keep them laughing and just own up to your shit.
Own up to your shit.
The fact that she won't own up to it tells me she has a short lifespan. If you can say, look, I fucked up, I did this, I did that, I did this, you don't even have to say you feel bad about it.
You just committed a crime. I know
what I did and was wrong, and I messed up and this, and but admit to everything you did. Did you do this? Yeah, I did that.
Correct.
But when you say, listen, let me give you an example. I've cheated on probably almost every chick I've ever dated. They're more upset about the lying and me saying I didn't do it than the actual cheating.
That's correct.
So the truth is, I realized that around in my early 20s, and then every time I got caught, I immediately was like, you got me. I fucked up. I'm sorry. This is what happened. I messed up. I'm sorry. You know what they typically did? Burst into tears and then hugged me and said, I love you. Oh my God. And stayed the night. Almost every single time. But when I lied and said, that's crazy. She's nuts. I never did that. You don't know. That's not what happened. That's when they broke up.
Listen, even if it's not fair, you still get, like, for those of you that don't know, 2 points reduction for acceptance of responsibility.
Absolutely.
For saying, listen, you know what? I know I'm going to get 18 years. I committed the crime. And immediately you go from 18 years to 15 years just by saying, yeah, I committed the crime. It was me.
Yeah.
So you get a 2-point sentence reduction. The other issue I have is, dude, I don't see her. I see her as a con artist, but I don't see her as a fraudster. I don't know if it makes a difference.
No, I think
her crime was for her own ego. I had a purpose in mind. My crime.
Yeah.
But my crime wasn't so I could feel better than anybody. My crime because I wanted the money and I wanted to build some kind of enterprise,
Right.
This chick, it doesn't matter how much money she would have gotten. She would have continued doing it just because it was feeding some personal goal that she had. She was looking for validation.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. She there's some issue with her being in as a child, being raised poor, being an immigrant, but trying to fit in.
Listen, that's me, right? I was raised poor. I'm the son of. I'm not the son of an immigrant. I'm actually an immigrant.
Well, we're gonna do the dysfunctional family.
The other
later.
thing that I don't appreciate from your podcast lately is every criminal you're portraying has an accent. There no bad white people.
We'll do a bad white person. They're bad white people. I heard.
Dave Ramsey.
All right, Jose, let's watch this.
And executed by her, but it was done in a really brilliant way that you can't have just happen. I mean, you don't create a situation like that out of the blue. You have to craft it, and you have to be very good.
Maria Konnikova is a best-selling author and psychologist who's intrigued by how Anna has managed to turn trickery into celebrity.
Anna arrives on the scene in New York City, and she just kind of arrives with a capital A. She knows exactly how to present herself so that she is right away going to be welcomed into New York society.
Anna's scam was breathtakingly simple. She pretended to be the daughter of a German billionaire about to strike it rich with an imminent inheritance. Her lie was so convincing, New York society welcomed her with open arms. In turn, she fleeced them. Upmarket hotels and restaurants, even various Manhattan banks, out of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's like I had no idea what was going on, so just like I kind of did things.
So you weren't that calculated?
No.
So much.
I don't see myself exactly as a ladder climber.
No?
No, I was just kind of doing whatever I wanted at the time.
So you just wanted to go straight to the top?
Lying,
kind of, yes.
cheating, falsifying
Why waste my
documents.
time?
I look at this, she goes, I don't see myself.
Just
as
knowing the
a ladder
people who were at
climber.
the top,
And then he
they
goes,
just
so you
started
just wanted
now.
to go to the top.
Sorry,
Yeah.
knowing the people at the top.
Yeah, it's like they did not strike me as too smart or like too talented, so I felt like, why?
The constant. I want to punch her.
Anna's
I never wanna
drive to
punch
get to the
anybody.
top by any means
Well,
possible
she gives
began
fraud
unremarkably.
bad name.
Exactly.
She was born in Russia, and raised in Germany in a family notable for, well, not much. Neither rich nor poor, Anna decided first class was better than middle class.
How did I find Germany? I was just confronted with the fact. I don't know. I didn't really I dealt with it. I don't know.
I dealt with it.
I guess my opinion of it is irrelevant.
But her opinion of New York was relevant.
So she did.
Around
she doesn't say anything negative
2015,
about Germany.
Anna Sorkina reinvented
but now
herself
that she's being
as
trained,
Anna Delvey
that she's going to have to go
and
back.
headed
Now she's
to
like
the Big Apple.
afraid for her life.
And
Pretty
I got a
soon,
whole
the con
topic about
was
that.
on. An attractive, soon-to-be-rich heiress proved irresistible to the local social set. You flashed a lot of cash during this.
No, I did not actually. I barely have any cash ever. I never have like more than a couple $1,000s at most on me.
People talked about you tipping wildly.
Well, people are
Tipping Uber
ridiculous.
drivers,
Yeah.
tipping concierges $100 at a time.
So
I mean, was
20,
that
30,
part of the
40,
allure
50
that people
say
saw a
she's
little bit
tipping
of money and they
$100
thought you had a lot
here.
more?
Well,
not
if
lying.
someone is impressed by a $100 bill, I don't know what to tell them.
I'm impressed by a $100 bill.
One of the brilliant
There's
things
so
she
much work to do
does
right now
is
for
she
$100.
does sprinkle in
You're
there
you're
that she
opening my,
herself
for opening the
is
door, you get
someone
$100.
that
Bringing
she
my wine
comes
upstairs,
from
you get $100.
this
That's not $100.
European background. We're not
That's
quite
a
sure
$5
where,
tip,
but
$10.
it's aristocratic in nature. And one of the oldest cons
I'm
there
gonna tell you what
is
the real problem
is people
This is gonna
impersonating
continue happening.
members of aristocratic families.
Hold on.
Looking back, the
stop.
act
Yeah.
was outrageous, but it worked.
All right, I'm stopping it.
This is going to continue happening, man, because people judge people based on the persona they portray. Back when I was in my field of expertise,
Right.
dude, I didn't have Instagram. I couldn't post a picture of me next to a private plane or a limo.
Yeah.
I had to go out there and put the best show I could so I could take these people's money.
Right.
Now, good social media, a good TikTok channel, that's it. And people are feeding into that. So she's right. It's just the way she says things that pisses me off.
Right.
But she's right on the fact that people are idiots, bro. If you see me on Facebook with a plane, that doesn't mean it's my plane. If you
Right.
see me in a limo, that doesn't mean it's my limo. You're a freaking idiot if you're going to give me your money just because of what you saw on my
Yeah. Well,
social media.
So, it's the way you hold yourself. So, let's face it. People talk to me. I'll meet somebody, shake their hand, talk to they immediately think educated, confident, successful. Immediately. They
Correct.
don't realize on probation, just released from prison, barely making my bills every month. Like literally when people's like, "Oh, come on, bro, you're kicking ass." I'm barely making my bills every
But
month.
if they watch your channel, they'll be like, oh, 41,000 subscribers. This guy's got to be making, some serious money.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's not how it works.
Matt's selling his body on the streets of Tampa, fellas, to pay his bills.
Connor's just like
Connor is like, okay.
even Connor is
Connor is like-
Connor's over you.
Connor
He
is
doesn't
like-
even find you. He used to laugh. He didn't find you amusing
Connor is like,
anymore.
we're going to let this one ride.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not editing that. It's not- I'm gonna leave that.
This
in.
one we're
It's just
sliding.
ridiculous.
So go to his Patreon.
Yeah, definitely. So here,
Brilliantly for Anna. Maria Konnikova says she probably couldn't believe her luck.
She doesn't go for the big money right away. It's not like she surrounds herself with, hedge fund moguls. She surrounds herself with cool, with the element of cool. She starts booking tables at the trendy restaurants. She starts treating people so that people can get a sense of glamour, a sense of kind of being close to something fascinating.
It seems people made room for the
love the
intriguing
camera
new
shot.
It
Yeah,
Girl,
and-
especially after
It's on
she
time.
fed them another lie. The amount of money she was about to inherit from her billionaire father, 60 million American dollars.
60 million. All right.
You led them to believe that you had a trust fund with millions of dollars in it, and it would be accessed when you turned 26.
How did I lead them to believe?
You told them.
You
that.
told him, yeah.
It's like, how do I lead someone to believe how much money I have?
Are you
told them, you
telling
idiot.
me now that
Because
you never
people
told
who
anyone
never met
that you
each
were an
other all
heiress?
have the same
Why
story.
would I tell them how much money I have? First of all. Second of all, it's
Because
like
you're a
no
celebrity.
one in New York cares. You cannot impress anyone with 50 million, 60 million, I don't know, maybe with a billion.
that's what
I
bothers
live
me.
in New York.
But then,
You
like,
can.
You're lying
No one
to my
cares.
face. They do care. You're
This is what
lying
people
to me.
fail to understand.
Did you have a job?
You're on stop.
Yes, I was
yeah,
a CEO of my
because this is the
company.
thing. Dude,
Okay, sorry.
sincerity comes from you, like you said, owning up to what you do.
Right.
There is nothing worse than a fraudster faking not to be a fraudster.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to say, Shrinker. Remember Shrinker?
Yeah.
Marcus. I said he's the worst kind of con man because he doesn't think he's a con man. Same thing. Do you remember Dulcie Richards?
Yeah, I was just gonna go right there. The real estate guy. Hey, listen, I got this mastermind, the real estate mastermind, or something like that he used to call it.
Everything was a scam. Like everything was a con. He was always conning everybody all the time. And I used to say, you're the worst kind of con man.
He used to sell people business plans. Remember,
$100 for $100 or $200 for him to write you up a bullshit business plan.
From prison.
Yeah. Which, of course,
in prison,
you've never had a successful business that you weren't committing some kind of fraud at.
Correct.
So why are you now selling? Well, he's selling it to drug dealers who don't know any better, who think he's successful, when they don't realize you're successful because you're running a fraudulent.
But that
business
that doesn't last long. That lack of sincerity, people actually are turned off by it.
Right. Like, think what she just said. $60 million doesn't impress anybody.
And how did
really?
How did I lead them to believe that? It's very simple.
Yeah.
You tell them.
Well, first of all, because this person, and this person never met each other, but every one of them said that you told them you were getting $60 million in a trust from your father.
From your German father,
your German father. The only common denominator is you. And they all said you told them. So you told them.
So you have a chance to be interviewed by 60 Minutes.
And you continue to lie.
Which is a chance to say, listen, this is how I did the crime.
Right.
I did this and I did this and I did this. And this it goes for you to people so you can learn. Don't be buying into people's stories. No, I didn't say anything.
Right.
I did not convince anybody of anything. They're just stupid people that gave me all their money because of what? Because you're cute? Because she's not that cute.
No, she's not cute. She's overweight. She needs to lose a little bit of weight. She does have a nice rack. But I mean,
but not worth.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not worth $100,000.
Correct.
Or $1 million or whatever she ended up getting. Did you watch the video? I loved it when they were going to give her the loan. She's such an idiot that she filled out the paperwork and then didn't think she was going to have to provide any real documentation. She provided some. There was a phone call.
That phone call, yeah.
Yeah. But in the end, which I think they made up.
I think so too, because first of all, she's not that smart.
No, not that smart. Not that sophisticated. And remember, they say in the thing, look, all of this happened except for what we made up. They did do a few things to explain to make her seem a little more clever than she actually is.
Can you go into a bank right now? You, Matthew Cox, with what you know, can you go into a bank right now and come out of there with $50,000? Not in a legal way, in any way, using any of your tools and techniques.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I can go to a bank right now and walk out of a bank with 100, 200 grand.
Right.
Like this. No problem. I don't think she has that capacity.
Oh, no. She was, and it took months. And then in the end, she still thought they were going to cut her a check for so many millions of dollars. And the truth is that they were going to do their due diligence because that's what a bank does. And just like when you give somebody, like you were saying, if you're going to give me $100,000, you need to do your due diligence and more than just meet me at a party and hand me $100,000. I'm not saying that's not fraud. It's fraud what she did. But in a way, it's like you do need to look into more than just she speaks with an accent.
And it's, whoa. I take offense to that. However, it's harder to take money from the institution than it is to take it from people.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And that's, I remember in prison, people would go, oh, hey, Venezuela, can you teach me how to go to the bank and get $2 million? What was your crime? Oh, I used to steal people's credit cards and go shopping. And no, listen, bro.
No.
This is a completely different ballgame. Okay?
First off, you have to have basic knowledge of underwriting. And then you have to be able to make fake documents.
And the right documents.
Correct.
Because you cannot show up with a bunch of shit that is useless.
Yeah, no, all the numbers have to work.
The numbers have to match. The dates have to match.
I used to always say, what's your skill set? And they'd be like, what? My skill, what did you do? Just like you, what did you do? I used to make meth, bro, but I don't want to get back into that, man. They're giving out too much time. They ain't giving out time for fraud. Really? You got what, 15 years? I got 26. I feel like they are giving out time.
More than drugs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, this chick got only 3 years though, but she
3
didn't. But she didn't.
years.
That shows
take
you
enough
also
money.
that she didn't take enough
Didn't
money.
take any money.
And it was a state case, by the way, not even fed.
Yeah, she's an idiot. Let's keep going. Let's see what she says. I don't hate her. I don't hate her.
As the scam progressed, Anna became even more ambitious. She announced plans for her one-woman company to build a $22 million private arts club on one of New York's expensive streets. It would be called the Anna Delvey Foundation and would be funded by local banks.
I was working on closing a lease. It was supposed to be like an art center with an exhibition space.
And that was the foundation that you tried to get the $22 million fraudulently, as it turns out, from the bank.
Why you seem so amused about this?
He's not amused.
Nobody's amused.
You're the only idiot that is laughing.
You know why he's smiling? 'Cause
Anna
he
came
hates your
incredibly
guts.
close
Yeah.
to getting her hands on the $22 million by posing as her own imaginary Swiss financier, a man who would email US banks to confirm her fortune and send proof of wire transfers. She also forged documents to show evidence she had a bank balance of almost 60 million euros. I mean, you sold the story and they bought it. Hook, line and sinker.
I mean, because the story was true.
You had 60
Was
million
that right?
euros.
Like I did have this project and I did have this vision, and it probably
That's not the
would have
story,
worked
that's
out
not,
if I did
yeah.
have the money. So
But you didn't have the money. That's
No.
why the project was no
That's
good.
like saying,
would've
oh, it
gotten
was
the money
true.
from
I
the
did have a
bank.
house I wanted to buy.
The whole Anna
just-
Delvey
they said they
Foundation,
didn't
your
wanna
whole
sell it to
business
me.
was just
Yeah.
this house of cards. It wasn't real, Anna.
so many businesses are just a house of cards. You just don't know about it.
Really? Can
Yeah,
you name
tell
them?
me one.
Right.
Anna's Arts Foundation proved to be just another fake. But before it crumbled into the dustbin of unrealized dreams, she did manage to convince a bank to give her a $100,000 overdraft. It was enough cash to set up home base at a hip New York hotel and to lure a new set of friends into her web of deceit.
In 2017, when she checked into a hotel, Anna established the I'll pay for everything dynamic because she didn't often leave the hotel, and she would ask me to come by on my way to and from work, and I would go for drinks or dinner, and she would sign everything to her hotel room. And she said, "You work harder for your money than I ever have."
Rachel Deloche Williams was Anna's next target, with the fake heiress trapping the Vanity Fair magazine photo editor with some fake generosity. She suggested Rachel accompany her on an all-expenses-paid trip to a 5-star resort in Morocco. What could possibly go wrong?
My last full day in Marrakesh, I wake up, and there are 2 managers who come into the villa and refuse to leave
Remember
without
that?
a functioning credit card. Anna asked me to use my card for now. I'm also told that the final bill will be settled when we check out. I'm leaving before Anna, so I think, well, she's gonna have to take care of this before she leaves.
But when Rachel arrived home, she discovered her credit card had been charged the whole bill, a whopping $62,000.
It's a nice trip.
It
though.
was more than a year's salary. But when she asked Anna to repay it, all she received were excuses.
She was in constant contact with a variety of excuses before I could even ask what was going on.
For once, though,
So here's what's funny about that. Like, I got so frustrated with this chick. 3 months went by that she kept thinking she was going to send her the money. Like, she really kept saying, like, to her other friends, she's like, well, you know, this happened and this was a delay. And
Because
like,
she's not a fraudster.
well, I understand, but like,
She's a pathological liar. She has no purpose. Her scam had no purpose other than her portraying something.
well, I understand what I'm saying. I was frustrated, not at the I was frustrated with the victim.
Oh,
The
wow.
victim is believing, well, she's going to send it tomorrow. She told me it's been 3 months.
And
If
it's
she's
$62,000.
if she's real, if it's any of it's true, then guess what?
Make a partial payment.
Call your dad, call your aunt, call your
75
sister,
grand.
call any of your filthy rich friends to send me the money. Like 3 months, you don't have any money.
And we go back to the lack of purpose. Why would she take 60 grand for a Morocco trip? If I'm gonna take 60 grand from somebody, it's gonna be for something else, not for a vacation.
No, for all of it's just pissed away.
That's it. A status.
Yeah, it's all
She wanted
status
a
and-
lifestyle.
right? And she was, I get the fake it till you make it, and that's what she was hoping for. Like at some point, she probably thought, how do I keep this going? Let me start some kind of a business where I can keep acting like this and getting people to give me money and a foundation that might work. And so let's keep going.
A victim had the last laugh. Rachel turned her ordeal into a best-selling book.
Love that.
Anna wasn't pleased.
She can say whatever she wants in her little book that no one reads.
It's a bestseller, you idiot.
I don't know. I never thought that's none of her business. She's just some random
None of her business.
girl in her 20s. Like
$62,000.
anyone who
none of her
knows me doesn't believe any of that stuff. She's a
Right, but what
photo
about-
editor at a fucking fashion magazine.
Wow.
Like it's none of her business how much money I have.
You have none.
Yeah.
It was
You
the
don't have
beginning
any
of
money
the
because you didn't
end
steal.
for Anna.
And she's got a
Businesses,
bestseller, and
banks,
everybody believes
and
it.
friends she'd scammed were starting to catch on. And one night, as she tried to leave a ritzy restaurant without paying, the police were waiting. Anna moved from boutique hotel to hellhole prison.
Rikers is a notorious
baby.
prison in America.
You been to Rikers?
You're dealing with overcrowding
Luckily,
issues. You're dealing with lack of supervision and violence. You're dealing with safety issues. You're dealing with drugs and unruly detainees. It's not an ideal place for anyone, but it definitely was hell on earth for her.
Faking it. Love it. All right, do we have to keep going with this? She ends up.
But
She gets out. She gets out briefly, and she ends up getting arrested by ICE, and now she's in a detention center.
Yeah, she got sentenced to 3 years.
She got sentenced, charged, and was sentenced to 3 years.
And I'll tell you some things that people don't know because I researched her case because I'm trying to get a hold of her at the
Nice.
ICE detention center.
Nice.
Of course, nice ICE. And so she made some money on the Netflix deal, but contrary to federal statute, New York State will not allow you to make any proceeds if they come from the exploiting of a crime.
Right. It's the Son of Sam law.
Correct.
From Berkowitz, who sold his life rights for $1 million.
So the state just took her money from Netflix, so she didn't get paid for the documentary. Okay.
I'll bet I wonder how she feels about that. They took my money. How does that feel?
Yeah. How does it feel?
Yeah.
To work and not get paid, or
Right.
somebody taking your money.
Does she laugh it off? It's okay. I have my
I'm
60.
stupid. I'm just
I have my
stupid.
60 million euros. I can rest on.
So they didn't take her money, and now she is in the custody of ICE. However, she's in a detention center in New York. They have her record. Her file is what do you call it?
Sealed.
So you cannot find her in the detention center. All right, but
Okay.
she is detained by ICE, and she filed a petition of asylum, which actually is not even asylum because she has a conviction. So she has to file convention against torture, which basically says that an official of the German government wants to kill her. Okay?
I don't think she would have a problem saying that.
Everybody wants to kill her, but it's because she's stupid. It has nothing to do with her political opinion. So that is the reason why people think immigrants are all bunch. She has to take her shit and go back to Russia, which, by the way,
Germany.
I don't think Germany is going to take her, but Germany or Russia or wherever she wants to go back. And that's it. Do like the Tinder swindler. The guy stayed in Europe and he's living at large.
Another scumbag.
He's another scumbag, but he's over there. You know what I mean? This chick is so arrogant. She still thinks she can beat this thing. She probably sitting on ice saying, don't worry about it. I'm going to get out and I'm going to fake it. I'm going to fake that the Germans are going to kill me because Germany is such a dangerous country.
When she did that interview, which was before she thought she was going to be deported, she didn't have a problem with Germany. She didn't say I'm in danger. It was a hellhole. It was horrible. People were trying to kill me. She just said, I don't think much about it. It's not a big deal. It's like, it's Germany. It's nothing, no problem. Like she could care less about Germany. Yeah, that's where I grew up.
And she's gonna sit on detention for a long time because she's gonna lose her asylum case. Then she can appeal it. Then she's gonna lose the appeal. Then she gets out of the ICE district and goes to federal, and files an appeal in federal court. And that's gonna sit there. Well, you and I know how long that shit takes.
So it could be a
couple
couple
years. In the meanwhile, she's sitting there and she's.
And is she in an ICE detention center?
She with a bunch of little Hispanics. I know.
And she's like everything that they hate about Europeans.
Correct.
She's snobbish, thinks she's better than everybody else, entitled.
Well, but guess what? I mean, listen. The one thing I guarantee you, people are putting money on her books. She's a celebrity.
She at this point, yeah, she's probably banking.
She's probably banking. Yeah, she's got some money on her books. She's running the place. She's lying to the officers are probably fascinated by her. Because, these officers love true crimes. And especially on ICE, all you have is people crossing the border. You don't have criminals on ICE. Very few.
Yeah.
So they're fascinated by, oh, my God, this is the girl. And I'm sure they all watch Netflix, and now everybody wants to ask for like an autograph and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. In the end, though, she's still just an asshole.
She is a piece of shit. And she gives fraud a bad name.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. If she had been charismatic during this interview, I'd have been like, nice.
But the Tinder guy was the same shit. Another arrogant guy. All I did is I went on. I'm a single guy.
Yeah,
I went on Tinder. I just wanted to date.
Yeah.
No,
bro.
Listen, I just wanted to date.
Yeah, you're running up people's credit cards. You're getting you're committing fraud. You're getting them to commit
then
fraud.
Then you're lying that they're gonna kill you. Then you're threatening these women.
Come on, stop,
so,
bro. Like,
nah.
What a fucking. It just. You know what bothers me? It's when someone thinks I'm stupid. Like, are you going to look me in the face and think that I fucking believe that? You think I'm stupid?
Well, and people are fascinated by this Netflix documentary, but I think they're fascinated by the fact that she's such a piece of shit. Because in some stories, and we talked about this too, the bad guy ends up being, people develop sympathy for the bad guy.
Character.
You almost want the bad guy to get away with the crime. With this girl, you want her to get caught.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The way the way she committed her crime, the way she did the whole thing, just poor.
Yeah, like I said, listen,
workmanship.
Like violence, I never feel like a violent. I never think I could get into an argument with you, and you're screaming and calling me names and this and that. And I never lose my cool. I never think to myself, I'd like to fucking punch you in the face. I never think I physically want to hurt someone. When I watch her, I think if I could get away with it, I'd punch her in the face right now.
And I think she went to trial.
Oh, she did. She went to trial and lost. Like, you've already proven that you can't win.
You can own up to your crime.
You've been arrested multiple times. You've lost at trial. You're not a good con woman. Cut the shit. Try and spin this into something that you can make into a career.
And that interview is going to hurt her a lot when it comes to her even having which she doesn't have one, a chance in hell to stay in the United States.
No, she's done. She's
done.
She'll be like the Tinder swindler. She'll be trapped in fucking he's in Israel. He's in Israel.
Yeah, he's in Israel.
He's trapped in Israel. He's afraid to leave. Who knows how many
because he doesn't know if he has an Interpol after him.
Red notice. Who knows how many red notices are out there to arrest him and ship him back here? Who knows? So whatever she's done, she's an asshole. All right. So this is all right. This one. We're going with this one.
Are we going with this one?
Is this one messed up?
If you know,
just go with this one.
If you know which detention center, I know she's in New York, but New York has about 3 or 4 detention centers. If you know which detention center she's in, let me know so we can reach out to her. They have tablets on those detention centers. Maybe we can have her on your podcast.
Oh, yeah, listen, nice.
That would be freaking. That's what I was trying to get a hold of her.
All right. If you want to stay safe, don't go to federal prison. Don't be an asshole like what's her name, Anna. And you know what? To be honest. Just don't lend money to your friends and family.
Just don't give money to anybody.
Right.
Invest your money. You want to lose your money? Go to Las Vegas and gamble it away.
Don't like
go to Patreon.
Don't send your friends and family money.
Go to Patreon and buy
Patreon.
What is it?
Patreon.
Oh, what did I say?
Patreon. It's Patreon. Go to
That's
Patreon.
A stupid ass name. That's why nobody goes to Patreon.
Wait, go to Patreon.
It should be Patron, like the tequila.
If you like the video, do me a favor and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified. Leave a comment in the comment section. Share the videos to your friends and family. See ya.
Adios.